Hey guys, Fleet here, and I got another Pro-Am walk-on full game, and um, there were some things that I wanted to, I guess, just kind of talk about while the game goes on today. Um, and um, you, Basically, this game is it's a full game. You can see that we're in the shoot around, so this one goes all the way to the end and isn't cut off like my other ones. Um, and we're getting right into it here. In this one, you get to see the matchups as well, so you can see who's matched up where. This game was pretty even actually as far as the matchups. So it wasn't like completely balanced, as in like uh, every player was matched up with a appropriate matchup as far as overall, but you can see that the matchups it was a decently fair game. And so you see my matchup is a 6'6" pure sharpshooter. And I'm I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like guarding sharpshooters. Not just simply not for the fact that they shoot threes or whatever, but because they stretch me out of the paint. So and I'm a rebounding shot creator, so I want to get rebounds, and I don't get as many when I'm guarding sharpshooters because they're stretching me out all the way to the 3-point line. So in this game, though, I had my brother at center, and he's a two-way rebounder, and he's 7'3", so he gets all the rebounds anyways, usually when we play. But it just means that I get to be out on the break more on games like where I'm guarding just sharpshooters, because they're standing so high up that basically they allow me to leak out in transition, and when we get stops and rebounds, then I can be the first one out and get a lot of buckets. So I tend to score more when I'm against pure sharpshooters. But yeah, I didn't want to like really talk about this game too much because I wanted to talk more about like basically give you guys some tips on how to play as a shot creator and how to break down defenses, and I do quite a lot of that, and yeah, a lot of it comes down to just like knowing and reading like the defense that's on you, and taking your time and being patient as well. Uh, a lot of times you really don't want to rush your offense because that's what leads to like basically bad shots and like contested stuff that is very low percentage. So I want to basically start by explaining why a shot creator is so potent as far as like ISO ball is concerned and ISO breakdowns. And the reason is because the shot creator really has no offensive weakness. He can do pretty much anything that you need him to do. He can make jumpers. He can drive the ball. He can post. So he really doesn't have any weaknesses. He can stretch the floor. He can crowd the paint. Like he can do a lot of things basically offensively. He's like kind of like a jack of all trades sort of archetype. So like with shot creators, being that versatile means that you can exploit the way that like a guy has to guard you in an ISO situation. So you read what he's giving you, and you have to basically exploit, take what he's giving you and like use it to your advantage and score. And like my rebounding shot creator, which is this character here, he's not even a pure shot creator, and he gets 76 post offense. My pure shot creator, my 6'6" pure shot creator, gets 77 post offense. and he's at 90 overall right now. So the shot creator, like, he's like a mini post scorer basically. He's like the guard version of the post scorer. Um, he's really really difficult to guard. He's probably the most difficult archetype in the game to guard if the player that's using him knows how to use his offense basically. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to basically read a defense that's like a defending player that's defending you and break him down ultimately, and get basically score at a very high efficiency rate. So not necessarily at a high percentage, but like at a high field goal percentage, because sometimes shot creators do miss, but when they're shooting in the right times and they're missing, a lot of times what happens is your team will end up getting the rebound and getting the putback anyways. What the game is just basic. That's the game's way of like distributing stats among like all players. So as far as where you want to get the ball initially as a shot creator, you really want to get it at the top, outside of the perimeter, and like as far as like when you're starting an ISO, you want to get it outside of the perimeter, and the reason for that is because you don't want to lose the ball like in the mid-range. Like you don't want to get crowded when you get the ball, because that's going to make it much harder for you to set up the offense that you want. And shot creators tend to demand a lot of attention because of how dangerous they are offensively. So you basically want to, like, when you're starting an ISO play, you want to get the ball outside of the perimeter, and then work your way in. And then ultimately, I mean, like, the first thing you really want to do is read the defense. Like, when you get the ball outside the perimeter, read where the defense is. So where the defense is standing, where the defender is standing, is going to determine how he's guarding you, right? So if he's standing like right up on you at the 3-point line, that means he's taking away your three ball. He just doesn't want you to shoot the three. And that's not like the ideal way to play against a shot creator, because shot creators get like decent speed with the ball, and they also get like good inside finishing, so they can drive like almost like a slasher. So if they're playing you close up outside, that's what they're inviting you to do. They're inviting you to blow by them, and they're hoping for like help D inside. And that's not really the ideal way to play against a shot creator, because his finishing at the rim is actually one of his stronger points of a shot creator. It's stronger than his three ball. So you don't, like, as a defender, you don't really want to necessarily take away the three ball. The best way to defend a shot creator is you want to stand like inside the perimeter, like slightly inside the perimeter, and what that says, when you're standing right inside the perimeter, like, and giving him a little bit of space, what it's saying is, okay, I respect your three ball, I respect the fact that you can shoot it, so I'm standing here, but I'm gonna try to take away your strong point, which is your mid-range shot. And that's another reason that you don't want to crowd the shot creator on the 3-point line, is because the blow by doesn't always necessarily lead to like a dunk or layup attempt. It usually leads to like a mid-range shot, like a pull-up mid-range shot, which is really deadly, because that is basically what the shot creator is built to do. So when you're standing like a little bit inside the perimeter, what you're saying is, okay, I respect your 3-point shooting, but I'm going to take away your strong point, which is your mid-range shooting. And that's the ideal way to guard a shot creator. When they're doing something like that, then what you have to do is you have to kind of get inside the perimeter, and a lot of times it's going to come down to like either post up or a drive to the rim. So like basically what they're doing when they do that is they give you space to dribble. So like you want to start with like some dribble combos and see where that leads. And sometimes it leads to a post up. Sometimes it might lead to like a drive. And that's a lot of times how you're gonna finish your buckets in with a shot creator is in the paint. It's just one of the easier ways to do it, and it's one of the ways that the defense tends to invite, I guess, quite a bit as well, because they rely on, like, a lot of players rely on help D inside the paint. So, and as a shot creator, you really got to pick your spots, especially like in a 5-on-5 game. But if you're playing like I said, if you're in an ISO situation, like you're in like a 3-on-3 or something like that, the shot creator is like becomes a lot more deadly, because it's really, like I said, it's really tough to stop a shot creator who knows what he's doing. So oftentimes good players will take away the drive. So as a shot creator, you really should know how to play in the post and play post up game. Without knowing the post moves, you're gonna have trouble basically working your way inside and getting easy looks. A lot of it's patience. With post, you the less the guy is in front of you, or less like the guy is like around you to and close to the ball, the harder it's gonna be to stop you, basically. So shot creators have a slight advantage because they can shoot off the dribble. So they have like the difficult shots badge, mid-range dead-eye, so that you can do things like fadeaway jumpers, like post fadeaways, and you can do post spins into like teardroppers as well. So a lot of it's like the post spinning, but also recognize when they're taking that away, because a lot of times like good players will do that. They'll just like block off your spins and stuff, and really the only way that you're gonna get anything like around them is you're gonna have to just go right over them with a fadeaway. And so the way to do that is you'll be posted up on a guy and you'll be kind of like pushing him into the low post area, and what you do is you can pump R2, and he'll kind of like push him a little harder, right? And your defender will be pushed off by those pushes, right? And so what you got to do is the closer you are to the hoop, the better a chance that you have of it going in. And so you want to try to get as close as you can, and then do one of those push-offs, and then hold the left stick in the opposite direction of where the hoop is, and from your guy, and then take the shot with I guess either square, or if you use the stick like me, then use the stick. And you can either do like a forward. Well, you don't want to hit up on the right stick. You want to use down on the right stick, because you want to basically take a fadeaway shot. So you don't want to do a hook. Yeah, and so that's how you're gonna do it, is basically you gotta push your guy as deep as you can, because the deeper you are, the better chance you have of the shot going in. And like I said, push him off and fade away, and that's the fadeaway jumper, or the post fadeaway. And then what happens is the post spin will open up more. So what they'll do is they'll get up closer on you, and they'll try to take away the fadeaway jumper, and so that will open up your spin moves, because the closer up they are on you, the tighter of a space that you have to spin. So you can just like get those spins like really easily and get right past them and get into like a layup or a dunk. and a lot of times it leads to, like, if you have a bigger shot creator, um, a lot of times you're just gonna get like a straight up one-handed dunk, and um, it's a posterizer dunk as well, because the guy's like on you, like basically still, because you've post spin past him basically, um, and it's a high percentage shot if nobody's in the way. Then the other thing that they'll do is they'll play you with, like, if they don't want to be post moved on, like on basically, they don't want to be post scored on. What they'll start to do is they'll start to play you with a little bit of a cushion, so they'll just block off your drive to the hoop, but they'll still like cushion you a bit just to make sure that you're not like gonna do your post moves, and that's the time that ultimately you have mid-range deadeye as a shot creator, so that's when you want to pull from the mid-range and basically just burn them with your strength. So like, yeah, like a lot of it's just, like I said, reading your offense and reading your defense and what they're giving you, and then showing them that you can do those things that they're conceding to you basically. And then I think the last thing I can say about like generating offense is um, you got to be patient. You it's not always your time to work. Basically, it's not always your time to uh, break down the defense and get a bucket. It's basketball is a team game, and you have to pick your spots. You can't always be the one uh, to just do everything. It's gonna make your life harder because they're gonna load up on you, and they're gonna disrespect your teammates because everything is going through you. So it's gonna get much more difficult, and like the more you score and the more you do in a game. So you really do have to pick your spots and move the ball when it's not your time to score. When it is your time, then go ahead, it's fine. But um, like I said, you have to be patient and um, know to move the ball, be a good teammate, and play within the flow of the game. Basically, you can't force things. Uh, when like it is your time, you'll know, because things will be open for you, and everybody will be like all on one side of the floor except for you, and the ball will come to your hands, and you'll have like opportunities basically. So you'll know when it's your time to score and when it's your time to like uh, just be a good teammate and pass the ball and let somebody else do something. Um, because yeah, when it really does take a group effort to win a game, and um, you really don't want to like forget about things like defense and rebounding and passing the ball and letting other people uh, play the game as well. And see, this is the thing about this game is um, when double teams come, you really have like very little time to like get rid of it or do something with the ball, because it's a very sensitive game where you could easily turn over the ball even if you are a really good ball handler, and there's nothing you could do. Like if you're just not fast enough to respond to what's going on. The best way to play is to move the ball around really quickly and get the defense moving so that it opens up open areas of the floor where your team can run to, and open up opportunities for ball handlers basically. Um, like you do want like your primary ball handlers to dribble a little bit because they can move pretty fast with the ball. But a shot creator's not like really up I mean, if you go with like a small shot creator, I guess he is kind of a primary ball handler, but uh, like a bigger shot creator like mine is not a primary ball handler. He's a more of a secondary ball handler, so he doesn't have the same kind of speed with the ball as like a playmaker or like a smaller shot creator. Um, so yeah, ultimately you do want to be passing the ball as a shot creator. You don't want it to be just like sticking to you every time it gets to you, because it's going to make it very difficult for you in the long run. Um, so you do want to like move the ball. You do want to pass the ball, be a good teammate, and play good defense and get back on your guy if he's like running out. Try to be a good transition player, because you do have good speed without the ball, but you don't necessarily have great speed with the ball. Yeah, so uh, like I said, like patience, teamwork. These are all things that you need to have to be successful in in the game of basketball. Even in real life, it's the same thing. So, like, it's not like Kyrie Irving doesn't pass the ball. Like, he does, and um, there are some players, like in real life, who uh, tend to have the ball stick to them a little more. Um, so it does happen like in this game as well, because people think that they can emulate like those guys that they know in real life, right? Like, or that they know of in real life, like Kobe, or like uh, let's say like LeBron or something. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, the game is it really does come down to like good ball movement, and like, you know, breaking down a defense is much easier when you get good ball movement, because like I said, it opens up space for your team. It opens up uh, like just different options and opportunities. Um, like if you are the kind of person who likes to take a dribble or two before they pass, like one of the better things you can do is try to drive it into the paint safely. And I mean, if you don't have a safe lane, don't do this, but try to get it into the lane safely and then kick it out, because that's one of the best ways to pass is from the paint out to the perimeter, because it goes right into the shooter's pocket, and those are the best passes to fire on for shooters. They become much more higher percentage shots when you do that. So that, yeah, that's like, as a shot creator, because you demand a lot of attention in the paint, that is one of the good strategies for like getting assists, is you want to drive it in and kick it out. A lot of times, yeah, see, like you saw there, like they bring doubles on shot creators all the time, and you see like I can't go anywhere at this point without like three guys following me. Um, that's just the nature of it. Like the more you score in a game, the more the the defense will pay attention to you and try to stop you from scoring. And I do it too. Like I do it as a defender. Like if I see somebody going off for like 25, and like the rest of the team only has like 4 apiece, like I'm going after the guy with 25. I don't care who my guy is, because I'll live with him taking whatever, as long as the guy who has 25 remains at 25 and doesn't go any further than that, right? So like that's just how like good players are generally. They pay attention to what's going on in the game and who's been doing what. Like in like this game, like, you know, I would have to, obviously it didn't matter if somebody else scored like 25 or whatever. If you're on a sharp, you gotta stick on that sharp, because a pure sharp can burn you for like 40 plus, like easily, like if you don't pay enough attention to him. So yeah, like I'm never uh, going to recommend leaving a pure sharp if you're tasked to guard a pure sharp. Um, but yeah, that is one of the things that, like, is one of the reasons why, as a shot creator, the more you score, the harder it's going to be to score in the future. So just having like all of your tools available to you is one of the most important things that you can do as a shot creator. Just knowing what you can do and being able to do all those things. That's what's going to help you score as a shot creator. And like the shot creator is a very good offensive build. He's the pure shot creator is a top 5 build in this game, like for like guards or small forwards. So, and then like this build here, the rebounding shot creator, he's a top 10 build as well. So for guards or like small forwards. So the shot creator is a very good offensive build, and a very efficient build. He gets a lot of points into a lot of different offensive like stat attributes. So just a good player overall. And like I said, you know, you as a shot creator, you should know all your methods of scoring, and you should know what you're good at. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough for you to score. Also, be very good at recognizing when double teams are coming and getting the ball out of your hands really quickly when that happens, because just recognizing first, like obviously, and then doing something about it is one of the most important things that you can do. Is like a good teammate is just making sure that you're because like, you know, even if you don't hit the guy that is open, the guy that you hit will probably find the guy that is open, and you know, like good ball movement is the key, obviously. Right there I turned it over, but like we were already like way ahead of this team, so it didn't really matter. There's 14 seconds left. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. I hope you all like this video, and like and subscribe if you want to see more. And yeah, I mean, I think that you know, like I think that players, y'all have different styles of how you want to do things and whatever, and everything is legit in this game. Like I said, even, you know, like I said bad things about slashers, but you know what? Slashers are the meta this year. No kidding. Alright, peace.